This is the Nightwolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles x G.I. Joe, a real reptilian hero crossover action figure. Today's figure is Snakeeyes x Leo. So to nobody's surprise, Leonardo was turned into Snakeeyes. Or should I ask, were any of you surprised to see Leonardo turned into Snakeeyes? I'm curious. Obviously on the front we just have some artwork of the figure showing. On the side we have that same artwork. On the other side, we got nothing. On the back, we do have the list of different figures in this wave. Snakeeyes Leonardo, Shipwreck Michelangelo, Roadblock Raphael, and Dial Tone Donatello. Also in this wave, but not included in this because she comes with a vehicle, is Scarlet X April O'Neil. On the villain side, we have the Cobra Commander Shredder, the Destro Krang, Ripper Bebop, and Buzzer Rocksteady. And making a special appearance is Storm Shadow Slash. This figure includes twin katanas and an Ooze-E blaster. Now for the file card, codename Snakeeyes Ninja Turtle, file name Leonardo. See, now Snakeeyes' file name was classified, but they didn't do that here, but they did that on the Cobra Commander Shredder, even though we know his name too. Primary military specialty, infantry. Secondary military specialty, hand-to-foot clan combat. Birthplace, classified. Most likely New York. Snakeeyes is proficient in 12 different unarmed fighting systems, ninjutsu, kung fu, jujutsu, and is highly skilled in the use of edged weapons. He has received extensive training from his sensei in underwater demolitions, also known as sewer layer renovations, desert survival, Coney Island, and Arctic survival, walk-in freezer at the pizza parlor. Qualified expert, all ooze, both mutagen and retromutagen, small arms. This mutant is a total mystery, but he's real good at his job. Heck, he's the perfect turtle. So let's go ahead and open this sucker up, shall we? Whoopsie. Oh, that's right, there's no tape on these. Oh, no, never mind, there is tape on these. He has those giant ass peg holes, making him not compatible with standard stands. The knife does not come out of the sheath on the side. That's a disappointment. Just going to straight out say that. This guy is molded in all black with the exception of the forearms here, which look like they're molded in green and then painted black on the highlights there, or the lowlights, or whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to say, I'm not sure why they even bothered with the green on there at all. I think that's just silly. His accessories include an Uzi that looks like one of those old-ass Super Soaker guns, basically. Fits in his hand just fine, surprisingly. I was really not expecting it to. He has nowhere on his belt to hold it, no holster or anything, which is disappointing. He does come with a pair of swords. These look like they're designed after one of the later swords that Snakeeyes used, so they're not the traditional katanas that he has. But he does have two of them. And they sit really funky on those back. I'm just going to say that. Because when you look at them from the front, at least at the angle I'm looking at them, this side looks a lot shorter than the other side. Because I think the problem is that that's not really quite in the middle. It looks like it is, but apparently it's not. Let's push those all the way down. Yeah, see, it's still, no matter what you do, it looks like it's, well, no matter. I suppose if you pull it out like that, it still looks a little bit better. But so this version of Leonardo here has the visor attached to his... Whoa. The visor lifts up. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I did not realize that was going to happen. And he's got a scar over his eye here, so... yeah. He's also got all of his teeth showing. Like, that's not too bad. His helmet here, and then the band is on the helmet. This is a separate piece there, by the way. Although the black is probably painted on the green. And again, we have just that little scar around his eye. So I don't know if his eye is also damaged or not, because all you see on the turtles are the whites of their eyes anyway. So that's actually not a bad feature. Of course, he's got the, basically, he is the turtle equivalent of Snakeeyes here, fully. He's got the little bands here, and this is the first version of Snakeeyes, almost, I want to say, than the later versions. At least the pouches and everything. I think it's also safe to say that his equipment here, his belt, is not designed to come off. So you can't get any of this off of him, which is kind of a shame. Let's talk about his articulation now. Hold on. Okay. By the way, I would say it is attached back here and down here. Possibly even glued around the entire belt area. And once again, that knife does not come out of the holster. That's too bad. He does have little additional pouches on the bottom of his legs. I guess maybe this is the second Snakeeyes now that I think about it. Articulation wise though, the head is on a ball joint and moves around. Giant ass ball. Big old hole. This comes off easily. There's no additional like movement in the thing. You know, with our G.I. Joe Classified and our Legends and even He-Man, there is room for this ball to move as well, which gives you kind of like enhanced neck movement. Not in this case. So we just get the general up, down, spin around, kind of cockeye a little bit, look up and down on the sides, but not to the same extent as the other ones do. Arm spins, not meeting any resistance. This arm, of course, runs into the headband. Raises up. Again, there's no bicep articulation here, which is a shame because, especially with Leonardo here, you could have gone up or down on this part, above or below on this part, and hidden the articulation too. But again, he does have a double jointed arm, elbow, and it does work more like it's supposed to. We do get like the full basic range of it, unlike the Shredder Commander one did. But once again, without that bicep cut, it still limits the amount of movements because you don't have a way to move the forearm on its own. The hand does spin around, and he has in and out articulation on that hand and in and out articulation on the other hand. So that's both the same. To nobody's surprise, the turtle does not have any waist articulation, although when you get right down to it, you could put like down here a little bit of a bit under the belt. Even if it's just to move, let the legs move a little bit left and right, or the hips, you know. Probably not attached to the shell though, you know what I mean? So the shell would stay there, but the legs could move a little bit. He can kick forward pretty far. And he's got very little kickback because the shell hits his thigh. We have a double joint at the knee. We can kick out. Ooh. When you try to move this part though, obviously that kicks in and jams up the works there. So Leonardo can only kick about this high without worrying about damaging that part. No boot cut. Hinge and a spin at the foot though. Unlike Shredder though, you can theoretically have him with all of his gear because he can hold the Uzi and then have the two swords on his back. I like how they gave us the little eye scar there to represent some of the scarring like Snakeeyes is supposed to have. Although, to be perfectly honest, I think in the comics, Snakeeyes basically got scarred by taking a grenade to the face. So there's not as much damage on Leonardo as there probably should be. But then again, as I said, any damage is notable. I'm glad the visor flips up. I think I actually probably will display him with the visor up. I just don't know if he can see out of that eye or not, based on the way the figure is designed. The eye is a bit larger than the other one, so I don't know if that means anything other than maybe they just didn't paint the other one enough, but it would seem to suggest that maybe there is some damage to the eye itself. I'm also glad that unlike Shredder, he can actually carry all of his gear that he came with. But he also seems like he comes with less gear than Shredder did as well. The gun looking like an Uzi and a Super Soaker had a baby is pretty funny. I do like that design. It's too bad the handle's also painted. Like, I think they should have just painted the ooze bottle and the tube instead of also painting the handle. That was a little too much and might have saved them a little bit of money. I don't know why they decided to have his forearms green. That just seems silly to me, honestly. They should have just gone ahead and kept them all black like Snakeeyes. That's like a super pointless thing. Although, and I forgot to mention this, he does have the Aragakashi tattoo on his forearm. And yeah, that's my bad. I didn't actually notice it while I was doing the review part. But yeah, this Leonardo's not too bad. Again, like Shredder, he doesn't have the necessary articulation to make the double joints worthwhile. No thigh cut means that those double joints in the knees don't have the range of motion that they should have. Same with the elbow and the lack of a bicep cut. I know that Playmates isn't exactly known for their high quality articulation, but the bicep and thigh cuts have become kind of a toy standard for these more expensive figures. So I'm not sure why they didn't do it. Like, even with Mattel's cheaping out on their Masterverse figures on the female side, they still have the thigh cuts, you know? And they don't give them the double jointed elbows, they give them the single joint so you can still kind of spin it on that peg it's in on. So you still get a little bit more range of motion. These guys don't have that. As far as making a turtle version of Snakeeyes goes, though, he actually does look pretty good. I do like this figure. I think he looks nice. But those are my thoughts, and I'm wanting to know what your thoughts are. So if you'd like to comment below and let me know. I didn't mean to rhyme. I don't like to do that all the time. But if you did enjoy this review, please feel free to slice that like button. And if you want to hear more of my nonsense in the future, you can subscribe. Perhaps you might even want to tickle that notification bell a little bit. Maybe spray it with some ooze. Thank you for watching. Peace and love.